Well, hello everyone. I hope you all had a nice 4th of July weekend and everything was going well for you. Before we go any farther into anything, I want to start this off with a little video I found out here on YouTube. Someone that apparently lives in Gilbert, Arizona has had the unlucky misfortune of being able to capture this. And this is a giant, massive cloud, dust storm, whatever it is. It's huge, and we're just going to watch it here. The sound's not too good because it gets real windy after a point, so I'm just going to turn it down. We're going to go ahead and watch it, but he's going to stand there and film this as long as he can. Apparently it just came, I didn't really hear that any of the videos I've seen, the better ones, I never saw anyone say they had a warning. You know, like, warning, warning, dust storm approaching, warning. It just blew up out of wherever it blew out of. And he's just saying now that the sky is getting closer, of course, to his home, and the wind's starting to pick up, the sun's getting blotted out, the sky's starting to get dark, and he's saying it's looking real brown, you know, dirty brown, and he's gonna eventually see it turn from daytime. That's what he's showing you. What does it look like over here? And he turns around and shows you what's coming over here. And it's just getting ready to blot everything out. So just think if that was a cloud of something that wasn't just dust. How quickly that thing actually went. I saw another pretty good video of someone in a vehicle, and they stayed on the side of the road for quite a while and waited pretty close to the last second until it started getting upon them and they took off. So it had some speed to it. It wasn't just a slow thing, it was just so big it looked kind of slow, but it was really moving pretty good, and it carried wind with it. It made the wind whip up real good, and they said they could hear or feel the temperature dropping. You know, it made it cool off too, because it was blocking sunshine and everything. Now you can see how quick. This is not time lapse or anything. This is only 2.5 minutes once he started rolling, apparently, and we're already getting into looking like nighttime. It's really daytime. You see how dark it made it look? It's wicked, isn't it? How something could change like that so fast. You know, so you're getting an example. If this is just a big, giant, massive dust storm with just dust, dirt, whatever, if that's what it is, then my gosh, think of something even more massive than that blocks out the sun. So you get an idea of what, kind of the eclipse in September. It's going to be dark like that from everything that we've looked at and what we think that it's pointing to. So it's just kind of a precursor to the optical of what darkness wise, what it will resemble, among other things. And in the other videos that I've seen where it showed cars and stuff, you did have accidents because you couldn't see. I mean, it was like pea soup. You couldn't see across the road. You couldn't see hardly anything at all in front of you. So that's going to be very dirty on all the people's lawns and homes and trees, and hopefully it didn't suck a bunch in the air conditioners or anything. But I thought that was pretty wicked little video there. What do you think of that? A big, giant, massive cloud of dust. Looks giant. If that was water, oh my, that would be a tidal wave, wouldn't it? Okay. Well, as far as our world earthquake situation is, it's about average. You see a lot of 4s, 3s, some 5 action. This is a recent area, of course. 5.3 in New Zealand, where they've already suffered and they keep getting popped. And then on the 4th of July they had a 4.9. And then you just move right up the old crevice here, ridge, seam, whatever you want to call it. 5.1 on the 4th in Tonga, and a 5.3 on the 5th in Fiji. Pretty much this area here is the most recent heaviest activity. Now we can go up to here and look at the US of A, and I do see something that I don't really like. I don't like it anyway. But of course California had a 4th of July 3.7, and then a smaller 3.1 on the 3rd. But this little area here of Nevada, of the 5th, having a 3.6, and like a little triangle, Utah had a 3.2 and then a 3. That little triangle there, I don't like to see a throbbing right in here. I don't like to see it anywhere, but speaking of the USA. And then we had one up here in Montana the other day. So we do have action in the good old US of A. And we did have some 4. Well, there was a 5.8 on the 3rd in off the coast of Nicaragua. But you know, July 6th, 4.4. July 6th, 4.7 in Colombia, 4.1. You see some 4 action, and a 4.5 in Bolivia on the 5th. Argentina, Chile, 4.8 and 4.7. Those being on the 4th. So we don't like to see anything in the country. Definitely nothing along here, the fault line, and definitely nothing up here right now where the Missouri is flooding, and I certainly don't like it over here anything at all. And Wyoming did have one not too god awful long ago also. And when we look here, this is what I was showing, is Montana, and I believe that was July the 1st. So you're talking a 3.5, and then we have all right up here, and then we have all the water, all the flooding coming through here, into here, up through here. It's going to work its way through here, and eventually come out here, and probably somewhere up in here maybe even down through somewhere in here in my eastern part of the northeastern. Probably could get some if it does what it might do, what it could do. You know, it'll get a lot worse if we have dam breakage, or if they decide to blow some more levees like they've already been known to do. But so far, from what I'm understanding, as far as this Missouri River flooding goes, we were never really out of the Mississippi River flooding, so that gets kind of back burner discussion right now. But it's still Mississippi River flooding. Flooded, because it's still got a massive amount of water. But we're looking out up in here now, because this is what's going on, and we got the nuclear plant situation. You know, we have all kinds of things going about the dam's got a crack and explosives are planted on it. But we got a lot of snow melt that hadn't, you know, it hasn't melted yet, and worked its way down and added to the water level. So combine water yet to be put into the system, along with water yet to be put in the system in the form of rain that they're gonna get, and we've got a situation there that's not going away anytime soon, and there's no way you could let down on the situation, because that's rather a high alert. Now we have out here in New Mexico still, and I still don't think that's getting enough publicity, is that fire at Los Alamos. Well, let's hope we're being told the truth about everything out there, because I haven't heard that it reached any of the storage where the barrels are stored. The last that I was able to find out is that they were trying to contain it, but it was very, very windy. And this just represents some of the fires. We've got 23 active large fires and 595 hotspots of fire activity detection, and it's set for the last 12 to 24 hours. So besides flooding, we're on fire, and we were on fire, I believe we were on fire Saturday. We got up to about 107 there where my cursor hand's at, where I'm at. I'm right here, right about 50 miles away from the Kansas border, upper north central. So that's right in the heart of Tornado Alley, and we can't forget that this has already been pounded over here, and this has been pounded over here. A lot of tornado activity was already pounded, and then we're flooded, and then we're flooded here, flood more in here. So it does seem like this entire little meaty region here is taking a beating in one form or another. And then you mix it in with this drought that's going on all over here. I mean, a super heat wave and everything, and it just goes from one extreme to the next. You get hot, baking hot, earth cracking kind of heat, you know, where you're getting 100 degrees or more every day. You know, maybe your low day is like 98, 97. But not far across the way, these people over here, they're all wet, and it's getting hot there too. You know, hot and water means bad conditions. Do a lot of sweating, gets humid. Excuse me. And mosquitoes and stuff like that, they like hot, humid, wet conditions. So that also is just a little tiny addition. These three little tripods here, little triangle, average 3.2 earthquake. That's not a good thing in there. Not at all. Yellowstone does throb, from what I check on it. More than we really realize until you start kicking yourself in the head and realizing what it's doing. So that's going to bring me to my next little portion. I took some photos again, and kind of a strange outcome. I think you can see that. Maybe not, I better move a little bit more. Okay. Right here is like a red star. And right here is like a blue star. And right there is like a white one. And this is not the way it looked whenever I was aiming. You know, I definitely didn't see anything red. And they all looked white to me whenever I aimed. So this is just another camera oddity for me, whether it's a glitch, I do not know. Let's see if I can blow it up a little bit more. You can see this one. Right here, that's blue. Red. Blue. I thought that was odd. I think you can see it. This is the red one. And this is the blue one. Right here. And just barely right here is a white one. So I'm not saying exactly what it is, because I exactly don't really know. That's just what I can say. is what it looked like, and what it reminded me of was red Kachina, blue Kachina, but there's no, it cannot be, it doesn't, it got to be something optical, because I don't have an answer for this at all. And that's going to lead to, let's look at some more. Well, what happened here was I went outside on my lunch break, and I was having a cigarette, and I noticed that they had painted some chemtrails while I was inside working. But it was different this time, because usually they're putting them over the west when the sun goes down. Either the west, northwest, or all the way from the west northwest to the southwest, south-southwest. So I went and got my camera, and I came outside again, and I pointed it up, and I shot it into where this chemtrail was down here, and I could see where they crisscrossed, and I was watching how this was actually a big long one. There's no way I could have got even a portion of the whole thing on a still photo, but it went all the way from the north all the way down to the south. Just the longest one I had seen in a long time. So I went ahead and snapped it, and everything came in, ate lunch, came home, put it in the computer, and then I noticed I had a friend again, whether it's a camera glitch or not, and my lens is clean, because I always take it out of the soft case and check it and clean it if I see anything on it. Not see, we got some little orb thing here. Well, actually it would be a big thing, but I'm not seeing that when I aimed it, so that's what I'm talking about. And you see it right here again. That's really weird, because it did not show up to my eyes. I don't know what this one little thing would be on my camera lens when I don't see anything at all. It's clean. So then I just try to do the best that I can with blowing it up and looking at it, and it looks well, it looks different. It reminds me of the other picture that I had something on there when I was taking it in a darker environment when the moon was out. And that's all you can really do with this one, is what I've tried to do now, and I get fairly about the same result. You know, it looks kind of roundish, and it's got a border, a lighter border than the inner, and when I look at it, it looks like it's got some kind of reddish, pinkish, violety mixed in with some type of greenish or greenish blue is what it looks like to me, with it being right in front of me. Let's see, once I get it to about here, it starts losing any clarity, if you could call it that, but you can still make out a shape of something. And then you just don't really have too much to look at once you get about right here. That's about as far as you can go, and then you have no clarity at all to even look at anything. So, that was odd, but that's just the way it came out. I didn't do it. I just snapped a photo. I didn't see it. There was nothing to get excited about taking the chemtrail picture. I didn't see whatever that was, if it was really there. So I don't know what that was. I can't tell you. And I have some other ones here, but those are the best ones. You know, this one was, I assure you, when I got the tripod here, the three-way, the red, white, and blue star, I didn't see red, white, and blue anything. They all looked white to me. You know, this is just the way it came out in the photo. Well, I really don't know what to say other than strange things are above your head. You'll keep looking up and you'll find some of them. But this one here, I mean to tell you what, a giant dust storm. Who would ever thought it? I certainly wouldn't have. But I don't live there. I know they do have some. Just like we have tornadoes here. And don't forget, we want to be cautious and be observant on 7/7 because we're not sure what will happen. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be on Mercury. It sounds like not a very good time. Whether that'll have anything for us, we'll just have to see if it aggravates the sun. And we get a CME or some other type of force in space that could be altered and affect us. As far as Fort Calhoun goes, I can't really say it's worse. I mean, the berm broke, little berm wall they had, and they've got a bunch of pumps running there to pump out the water, try and keep up or ahead of incoming water. But like I mentioned before, hey, they're still going to have to deal with this. You know, they still got to deal with snow and rain, melting snow, and then some rain at some point coming down. They're going to have more water. There's just no way they can do without it. Well, I mean, they can do without it. That's not what I meant. But I meant there's no way they can actually stop it. So, we got a lot of stuff going on at the same time. And I hope that everyone can be safe as you can be in whatever area And then there's some other talk about, I've seen and heard some other things about the Ozark area, to go or not to go, safe or not safe. You can be sure where the Ozark idea that I always heard was, you know, everybody knows that it's got higher elevation and everything in the Ozarks. So lots of people heard that there was military personnel moving from the coastal areas into the Ozark area. So this, among some of them that said they knew these people and whatnot and had a little insider information than what we did, they picked up on it and put two and two together, and well, they're moving to higher elevated places. So there's a lot of people that thought that from the get-go, and that's several years ago. And then we have all this, and everyone is wanting to find places to go. One thing we got to remember is nobody that we know have lived, nor ourselves, through anything like this that's coming down the pipe. So everybody's just doing the best that they can with what they think is the best. So that's trial and error to me. I mean, you do the best homework, the best research that you can, and you deal with it as best that you can for however you're going to try to. And not everybody's going to do the same thing. Not everybody's going to go the same places. But people that do try to go somewhere besides home, they're doing the best that they can. So I wish everyone the best if they are planning to go away somewhere when it looks like you need to. And I pray for all of us. I guess I'll close it out now and say that keep your eyes on the skies. And I pray for every one of you. There's some really freaky things going on at night. If any of you are night owls, vampires, sky watchers, star lovers, it's just a matter of, I guess, looking up at the right times. So until next time, God bless all of you and keep you safe. And I'll talk to you in a day or two, unless something more pressing comes on and I need to relay it and talk to you about it. So far, this is what we have to look forward to and deal with. So that's what we'll do. I'll see y'all later. Bye.